This is a tutorial on how to create a table in our MySQL database using the phpMyAdmin tool. Now, earlier on we made a database named MyDB. Now it's time for us to populate, or say put tables inside our database, because as you all know, based on the discussions on the text presented on our tutorial site, the tables will contain the data that we will be keeping inside our databases. So I suppose that before you viewed this video, you already had initial readings about the data types, the keys, the primary keys, the foreign keys. Yep, so that we will have a thorough understanding of the processes that will be presented here on this video. Alright, so with that, let's start. Now, suppose I go to MySQL, phpMyAdmin, its localhost, phpMyAdmin will be taken here, right? Then click MyDB, which is the database that we want to build or create a table for. Now, since we're going to use SQL code, let's click the SQL tab. There we have it. Now, here's the syntax. Create table. See? That's the keywords that we found here. Create table. As you can see, it's there. So, create table. Again, SQL or SQL is not case sensitive. Okay? So, after create table is actually the name of the table that we're going to create, which is students, because we intend to put names of students or records about students inside this table. So I just prepared this early on, copy pasted it. There we have it. So we have an ID. This is the field name, the column name of the column, which will store the ID for the student record that we'll be placing inside our database. Int is actually the data type. Data type, so int, we expect numbers or integers to be placed inside this field. Not null. This statement will tell us we do not accept records or data for records that have no input, that are not used. Now, primary key, I suppose you've already read this, the primary identifier for each record in our database end. Take note, when you assign a field to be a primary key, the field should not contain duplicate inputs. So normally, if we have integers as our primary keys, we put this after not null. Take note, space auto increment, meaning you no longer need to put values into the ID field. You just have to put values for these, your F name, your M name, your L name, or for whatever records, because the SQL engine automatically increments the existing number of your ID. Okay? We'll get to that later, and I'll show you how to use auto increment fields. Now, F name for the first name, well, field names can be symbolic to whatever input you're expected to place inside that field. It's varchar, meaning it's variable character which has a length of 50. Take note, the length of the varchars will define how many number of characters you're allowed to place for that column. And we can adjust that. We can put 1 to 255, I guess. Yes, that's the length of data type varchar. So now let's try this. Let's click go and let's see what happens. Okay? Go. Alright, there we have it. Now we already have our table. See? Your SQL query has been executed successfully. Take note, look at this. MyDB already has one table. Click it. So you see, we already have the table students.